Okay, so in this video, we're going to talk about the latest news around Brittany Cartwright. We've got some details on a new photo she posted and also what she's been saying about dating and, the divorce. Basically, we want to get you quickly up to speed on everything that's been going on based on this recent info. So first up, this photo. Brittany shared a new pic on her Instagram story. It's her with some guy, but his face is hidden again. So beyond the Instagram tease, what's she actually saying about, getting back out there, dating post-split?
Well, she talked about it on a podcast recently. She was pretty honest, actually. Said she doesn't really like being single, feels lonely sometimes. But she also knows she needs time to heal.
That makes sense.
Yeah. And she emphasized that, what people saw in the Valley, all that intense stuff, that was filmed last summer.
Oh, right. Quite a while ago now.
Exactly. So she feels like she's done a lot of personal growth since then. She did confirm she has a crush.
Okay.
But she described it as nothing serious. She's just focused on having fun for now.
Okay, so easing back in, having fun. Did she say what she's looking for in a partner now, like qualities?
She did. She mentioned wanting someone who makes her laugh, who's a good time, also someone who respects her and treats her well.
Standard good stuff, yeah.
Pretty much. And then longer term, obviously, it's someone who'd love her family and her son, Cruz.
Right, Cruz is key.
Absolutely. And she was very clear about introducing anyone new to him. That's going to take a long time. She's really serious about that.
Wasn't there something specific she mentioned about that? Something official?
That's exactly. This is a really interesting detail. She revealed there's a specific co-parenting rule, actually written into her divorce papers with Jax Taylor.
Whoa, okay. In the legal documents, what's the rule?
The rule is that neither she nor Jax can have someone they're dating around Cruz unless that relationship has been going on for over 6 months. And they have to have discussed it with each other first. So it's a two-parter.
Wow, 6 months plus a conversation. That's a very clear boundary, especially to have legally documented.
It really is.
Did she say why they put that specific rule in there?
Yeah, she explained it's all about protecting Cruz. She basically said she doesn't want, a revolving door of different people in his life. He deserves that consistency.
Yeah, prevent confusion or hurt for him. That's understandable. So it's clearly a major priority shaping the legal side of things.
Definitely seems that way.
Okay, and any final update on the divorce itself? Is it done?
Not quite yet. But she did say it could be finalized any day now. Sounded pretty hopeful. She added fingers crossed.
Okay, fingers crossed. Gotcha.
Okay, next update we have about Andy Cohen. There's been some chatter about Lindsay Hubbard maybe joining the Real Housewives of New York City.
Andy was asked about it during an interview back on May 21st.
And what did he say? Did he confirm?
No, he was pretty clear. He said, are they saying that? I don't think so. So a denial.
Okay, but then he added something else, didn't he?
He did. He followed up with, but I think she should always be on TV. So maybe not RHONY, but he still sees her value on screen.
Interesting. It makes you wonder about these casting rumors. Are they just speculation or like sometimes testing the waters?
That's a good point. Sometimes they can build buzz or see how fans react. But his quick no here suggests this one maybe didn't have legs.
Next update we have about the Real Housewives of New Jersey. After all that tension between Teresa Giudice and Melissa Gorga last season, people are asking about season 15 casting.
Yeah, those relationships really drive the show. Andy basically said news on casting won't be out for a while.
So holding off on announcements. Makes sense.
It suggests they might be taking a moment to figure out the best path forward after that feud really heated up.
Right, need a plan. Now, let's shift to a show Andy becomes really excited about, The Real Housewives of Miami.
Oh, yeah. He seems super enthusiastic about season 7. He called it so good, absolutely incredible and funny.
And the drama. He mentioned something about the fights.
He did. He talked about housewives fights that are a level of petty that is exactly my speed. So expect that signature RHO energy.
That kind of intense, sometimes almost silly conflict is definitely part of its appeal, I think.
And he didn't just talk about the drama. He also praised how the show looks.
Yeah.
Said it's beautiful and so colorful. Miami definitely has that visual pop.
It does. Next update we have about a big fan event, BravoCon. It's coming up in Vegas, right?
Yep. November 14th to 16th at Caesars Forum. It's become this huge gathering.
And Andy said something about this year's version.
He described it as a tweaked up version of the last one. Sounds like they're refining the experience.
And making it more accessible. I think I read something about Peacock.
Yeah, he mentioned wanting to give everyone an opportunity to see it with many chances to watch on Peacock. So if you can't be in Vegas, you can still tune in.
Good move. Reaching a wider audience that way. All right, moving on. Lacy Nicole. She's Jesse Lally's girlfriend from the Valley. She decided not to film the show. and she recently opened up about why.
Yeah, Lacy shared a really intense backstory. She revealed that in her early 20s, she and her best friend were actually kidnapped, held hostage overnight.
Wow, that's incredibly serious.
Absolutely. And the charges filed against the attackers were extensive human trafficking, kidnapping with intent, assault, burglary, carjacking. Just awful.
And the impact that had on her long term.
She mentioned developing 7 autoimmune diseases and PTSD because of it.
How did she cope? Did she talk about therapy?
She did. She initially found EMDR therapy helpful, but later she said she relied more on inner child work, like writing letters to her younger self.
Finding what works for you, I guess. So
Yeah.
Recovery isn't one size fits all.
Exactly. And she talked about current coping strategies, too, setting boundaries. Like she avoids movie theaters now. Also prayer, journaling, self-validation.
And support from her friend, the one who went through it with her.
Yes, she mentioned that support specifically. Having someone who truly understands must be incredibly important. It's really commendable how she's prioritizing her well-being.
And then there's some amazing news in her story, too, about becoming a mother.
Yes. After being told she had basically a 0% chance of conceiving naturally, she now has a 3-year-old daughter. She called it a full circle moment.
That's just wonderful. She also touched on her relationship with Lally. They started as friends.
Yeah, through their daughters, apparently. They got closer when they were both going through separations. She said she gets the whole filming thing if you date someone on TV, but understandably, her safety comes first.
Makes total sense given her history. Very grounded perspective.
Seems like it. And now she has a podcast, Shame to Sparkle.
Right, aimed at helping other women who've experienced similar trauma, turning shame into strength.
It's a powerful way to use her own journey to help others, creating something positive from such a difficult experience.
Absolutely. Next update we have about another Summer House cast member, Jesse Solomon. He mentioned having a crush on someone from Bravo recently, and there were rumors about Erika Jayne.
Ah, yes, the Bravo dating pool speculation. Jesse admitted he's excited about a girl he connected with on Instagram, like, just a week before the interview. But he's being cautious, saying, I think this isn't just such a casual date. If you go on a date with somebody from Bravo and people are going to see us, he knows the drill.
Very aware of the spotlight. So, the Erika Jayne connection.
Yeah.
What's the story there?
Well, an insider told Us Weekly they saw them flirting and getting cuddly at a bar in New York. This was after they both appeared on Watch What Happens Live during the upfronts.
Okay, flirting and getting cuddly. Any more details?
The source called it playful and just having fun. He said Jesse was very straightforward and Erika seemed into it, so sounds like a potentially flirty vibe after the show.
And Erika has talked about what she looks for before, right? On her podcast.
Yeah, back in November 2024 on Diamonds in the Rough, she mentioned that chemistry is more important to her than, like, traditional good looks, and that she's very direct herself.
So Jesse being straightforward might actually appeal to her, based on what she said. Interesting.
Could be. It lines up, potentially. We'll see if anything more comes of it.
Next update we have about the Real Housewives of Atlanta. It seems the drama between Porsha Williams and Shamea Morton might actually involve their mothers, too. Diane Williams and Sarah Morton.
Yes, this adds a whole other generational layer to the RHOA dynamics, and the alleged root cause is, well, it's quite something.
What's the alleged story?
According to YouTuber Aaron from House of Aaron, it supposedly stems from their daycare businesses way back when.
Daycare businesses. Okay, tell me more.
Apparently, around 2001, both Diane, Porsha's mom, and Sarah, Shamea's mom, owned multiple daycare centers.
Okay.
Then, the report claims that after 9/11, the industry took a hit, and one of Diane's centers had to close and went into foreclosure.
Right, that makes sense. So where's the feud part?
Here's the alleged kicker. The claim is that Sarah Morton then bought Diane's foreclosed center and reopened it as her own.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. Reportedly, Diane was absolutely livid and just immediately cut Sarah off. You can see how that would cause a massive fallout between friends.
Definitely. Buying your friend's foreclosed business. That's messy.
It certainly raises questions about, business versus friendship. And the report also hinted at older issues, like Sarah supposedly copying Diane's business moves before that.
So maybe a longer history of competition.
Potentially. Now, it's crucial to say this is an unconfirmed report from a YouTuber, but Porsha and Shamea themselves have alluded to their moms having a falling out.
So there might be something there. I wonder if Andy will touch on this at the reunion. Could be a key piece of the puzzle for Porsha and Shamea's issues.
It could definitely provide some important backstory.
Next update, we have about some legal trouble for a Real Housewives of Salt Lake City star, Britani Bateman. Her ex-husband's mother is suing her.
That's right. Sandra Underwood, who's John Scott Underwood's mother, has filed a civil lawsuit against Britani.
And the accusation is serious.
Very. Sandra, who's 87, alleges that Britani stole $100,000 that Sandra loaned her back in 2021.
$100,000, wow. And Sandra's situation?
The lawsuit says Sandra has limited income and medical needs, making the alleged refusal to repay even more concerning. The complaint uses strong language willfully, maliciously, and through intentionally fraudulent conduct, claiming Britani used the money for her own personal benefit.
How did the money supposedly get to Britani?
It allegedly went into a trust fund set up by Britani's father, where Britani was the trustee and beneficiary. Sandra claims Britani urged her to put the $100K from selling her home, plus over $200Ks more, into this trust,
with the understanding she could get it back.
That's the claim that Sandra was told she could withdraw at any time. But when Sandra's lawyer sent a demand letter in March...
Britani didn't respond.
Apparently not. The letter mentioned an implied agreement and an alleged comment from Britani like, I don't know why not, regarding repayment, but still no response. The lawyer even made a plea based on simple decency and morality.
That silence doesn't look great, especially when you contrast it with Britani's social media presence.
Right. She often portrays a pretty wealthy lifestyle online. Meanwhile, she's also accused her ex-husband of draining her accounts and cutting her off financially. So, conflicting narratives.
What is Sandra asking for in the lawsuit?
She wants the $100,000 back, plus statutory interest, attorney fees, and potentially punitive damages, maybe up to 3 times her losses.
So potentially a lot more than the original loan. That suggests her lawyers think there was real intent.
It does. Now, Britani has her own set of serious allegations against her ex-husband, too.
Right. Things like financial misconduct, causing severe emotional distress.
Yes, and even claims about controlling behavior and demanding sex multiple times a day. But his lawyer denies all wrongdoing, calls her claims vexatious, and points out that several cases she filed previously were dismissed.
So it's a really tangled legal situation. Lots of claims and counterclaims flying around.
Definitely.
So if you want to keep up with all this, make sure you subscribe to Real Tea TV.
Yeah, and hit that bell icon. You don't want to miss our next breakdown.
Thank you for watching this video. See you tomorrow.